Hello everyone, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is Rooms and Reptiles, Dungeons and Dragons. Dova, and Cobalt, I'll let you both take it from here.
You want to read it, Cobalt?
What did I write down again?
It's
Oh my god.
It's in Rooms and Reptiles chat.
I gotta scroll up now. Okay. Last time on Rooms and Reptiles, we brought info back from we brought info back, and he eventually recovered well enough to be up and about. Meanwhile, we gave the kobolds rules to follow after an argument broke out or something I can't remember. Then I had some tasty, creamy, icy, sweet stuff, and I can't wait to start making it. Riku took me shopping so we could get all the stuff, and now we continue.
All right. So, last session was fairly quiet with not much happening aside from Gort's death from old age. It is surmised. A little bit of shopping happened, but other than that, not much. Which I suppose is a good thing in the long run, as the settlement is still sort of establishing itself and getting into a stable position. So, as night falls again, the kobolds being nocturnal, of course, prefer to stay up during the night and sleep during the day. The camp slowly awakens. I'm very aware that 2 of our party members,
Faded to black.
yes, have shared the same bed for something other than sleeping. And yeah, I think we talked about that a little bit earlier. In private, of course. But yeah. So, what are you guys all going to do during the day as you all sort of slowly make your way to the main hall for breakfast?
I will sleep during the day. And then when evening comes again, I will go and get breakfast.
Eric, you son of a bitch.
Oh,
You know what I mean, Eric. It is evening right now. So, morning for you.
I couldn't help it.
That's no fucking excuse. So, what are you doing?
Well, right now I'm discovering that my wound is oozing and it's gross and smells funny.
Like in real life?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Well, that's
Nice.
great. Now what you doing in the game?
Oh, in game. I am going to get food. I said that.
alright. What do you have?
Give me a moment. I need to restart Discord. So hello everyone, since they won't be able to hear us for the moment. It is just so good to have you all here. I just appreciate each and every one of you. Lazy Danger Cato, Buizels, Adir, Big McLodge, Blue Queen of the Dragons. You are all just so precious. Precious little plums.
Digging in for breakfast. You start to notice that
They could not hear
the
you
food
during that.
seems... What?
They can't hear you when my Discord is restarting.
Okay.
Which means that they didn't hear what you said when you were speaking when he was out.
Probably
What
didn't
did
hear
I
me
actually
either.
say? Because
Raku eating eggs Benedict and Cobalt also doing that.
yes, you guys are currently getting breakfast, which is eggs Benedict.
Yeah, but we have to wait till the. Are we back? No. What?
They can hear you now.
All right, cool. Raku gets eggs Benedict.
All right. As you guys are digging in, you're starting to notice the food seems kind of bland this morning.
Hmm.
Well, we did
Otherwise,
just
it
lose
seems fine, though.
We did just lose a very important member of our little society. So
Could be that.
I'm gonna go ask one of the servants if they're okay.
Yeah. The... Do they have feelings?
Only one way
Well,
to find out. That's
we
why I'm
discovered
asking.
they can get annoyed.
The servant who you ask just simply stares at you without answering.
Oh,
You can't tell whether that's a yes or a no.
I tell him to answer my question.
Alright, we're running into paradox territory. There's a sound kind of like simultaneous, like a puff as well as a cough, like a wheezing cough, as the servant in front of you just kind of vaporizes.
Oh.
Can I do a perception check to see if I heard a snap in the background?
Ha ha ha.
Sure.
You know, we all haven't seen that movie, so you know you should probably just stop talking there.
Okay.
I mean, clearly you're aware of what that is, so...
I know. That's the problem.
Also... There you go.
Great. Glad you did that.
But why?
For Talos.
Alright, that's enough.
Right now, what?
Oof.
God, pop out.
I don't know. What you guys doing?
Alright, well that's broken. Raku just finishes his food, and then he goes outside to the lookout tower and wants to try out his spyglass.
Alright.
Combo's gonna follow in, make a copy of the spyglass, and also look out of it.
For some reason, your spyglass doesn't seem to be working. It seems the one that you conjure up seems to only work this similar to maybe like a tube full of or with some glass. There's no actual magnification, unfortunately.
Interesting. Cobalt's gonna collapse it and then, like, make it poof between his hands and tell Raku, okay, it functions entirely by magic.
Does seem to be the case, Riku, as you're looking through it, it's just automatically focusing into whatever you're looking at with stunning magnification. Go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
Is he spamming that?
He might.
Oh no, I am. He's changing his sound, so that one is becoming a public one.
Oof.
So everybody can play that.
Yep.
Alright, 22.
As you are just sort of surveying the area right around your site, you catch a glimpse of something through the trees.
Zoom and enhance.
Why is that making you laugh so much? Who was it that actually saw that, like, that cave with the, oh yeah, it was you, Rock, or, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
you were the one who went on the psychotic trip.
were
You
cutting
managed
out
to
a
see
lot. I'm
some,
not sure if that's me.
no, I think that's me. I was stopping before I started.
No, like, your voice is choppy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that might be me.
I think it might be you because I've been hearing
Yeah.
it just fine.
I'm
Alright.
hearing it on and off.
Anyways, you managed to see something through the tree line that reminds you of your basically acid. It's a
My
rather your acid trip.
Oh,
On
okay.
your little psychotic romp.
Mm-hmm.
It's an old knurled treetop. Some of the thick branches twist in a very familiar way.
Alright.
It's about 5 miles away. Into one of the regions that is not among the your allied sort of Garung's territory.
Alright, so there's free reign.
And real estate.
All right.
It's free real estate.
It's free real estate.
Yes.
Have you guys seen that entire video? It's great.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Got the keys right here.
So. Oh man, Raku. I remember. Did he ever end up getting his own map, or did he just make a copy? That was obnoxious.
I believe you did end up making a copy.
All right, so he's gonna pull that out and He wants to. I don't know how to articulate this. He wants to see if he can get the spyglass to interface with a map, just if it has an innate like magical property of that. If that's one of the reasons it's so expensive.
The spyglass does not interface with any sort of map, sadly.
Okay. All right, so Raku will just. Well, could Raku just mark where it is on the map?
All right. And you think you have a pretty solid, recognition of exactly where it is.
Can I do like some kind of like a survival check or something to get it close?
Sure, survival.
Okay. Okay, so 17.
17, very nice. Yeah, you figure you got it exactly where it should be.
Sweet.
Wait, is the 10 on a skill check thing, is that any proficiency or just the double proficiencies? Because I thought it was the double ones.
No, it's any skill I'm proficient with.
Okay.
It's actually just insane.
I should just take Bard so I can get Jack of all trades.
Not sure
Yeah,
that
but
would.
I
think
Not sure
there's-
that would apply.
I think there's a ruling against that, yeah. Because Jack of all
It-
trades
well-
gives half proficiency to everything.
Yeah, everything you don't have proficiency in. Meaning specifically, if you have half proficiency, you don't have proficiency.
Okay, so that's what Raku does.
Kobolt's gonna work on his golem until something interesting happens and someone
Alright.
wants his attention.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana check.
Will do. Would help if I pulled up my skill list. Let me try that one again. I like that number better.
This dang image is in the way. Get out of here. Alright, 21. 21, 21!
21.
21! You managed to make some fairly decent progress. You are running out of some of the more specialized materials, so you will need to get some more soon.
Okay.
How about Rock and Sully? What do you do?
Sleeping in.
Probably sleeping, actually.
You sleeping in?
Yes.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Eric, how about you?
I'm gonna go... I have no idea. I'll go work with Rowan and get him training kind of stuff.
Alright. Give me an
Increase-
animal handling check.
Increases smarter.
Well, he's already smart.
That's debatable.
No, he's literally awakened. He can speak.
Even more awakened.
He's
Wow.
woke. Before he was awakened, now he is woke.
You start to sort of like strengthen your friendship that you have with Rowan. And there's like a small little montage right now of doing like training stuff, almost like a Rocky.
Montage.
Except when like there's a moment in it, it's kind of funny where like he's like looking at another one of the kobolds like hungrily, and you kind of like slap his nose for a moment. That was like at the beginning of the montage, and at the end, you're like you managed to get him to the point where you can like wave like raw cut meat in front of his mouth, and he won't even bite at it if you don't tell him to.
Now, in the background is a song by Nandy Rubin, right?
Yeah.
Well, fantastic.
It's a training montage.
It's a training.
Montage.
Gonna need a montage.
Montage. I'm glad we were all on the same page there.
I have no idea what you're talking
I'm
about.
glad we were all on the same
Team
page
America,
there.
right?
Yeah.
No idea.
Jesus.
You don't know Team America?
Nope.
Huh.
Is that America fuck yeah thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard about that meme. Does that help?
I guess.
Yeah.
So does anything happen? Did we miss anyone when we were going through what everyone's doing?
I don't believe so. You guys are just being lazy.
2 people and specifically are being lazy.
Hey.
That's true. Eventually, you guys are gonna get out of bed. What do you do then?
Fine. I'm probably gonna go find kobolds.
Door's
Alright.
locked. I mean,
You
could
can knock
try,
on the
but
door.
yeah, you're right.
I just think there's lots of ways to, get around.
to
door.
solve the problem of a locked door.
Plenty
You're
of-
correct.
Yeah, she'd probably just like go right on by. That is probably like the way even Cobalt does it. He locked the door and forgot to unlock it. So, all right, I guess teleport.
Oh no, the door is locked. What am I gonna do now?
What am I gonna do?
Ron and Harry keep yelling about how locked the door is.
I mean,
So
at
look
least they're
to the
more
keyhole and go.
economical than Rock.
All right. Well, when you teleport in, you see Cobalt making a golem, and before you can even get a good look at what it looks like, there's a cover over it.
Well, he's gonna take it off.
No, it's a secret.
Not anymore.
That's not how this works.
Educate me, child.
It's a surprise. No one can know about it except for me and he trips over his words. Another person.
You're making a golem for another person?
No, I didn't. No one ever said that. He starts to push him out the door.
The door's locked. No, Cobalt.
Why do I do this to
We can
myself?
catch up.
Okay, what do you want to go do?
Oh, nothing much. I was just coming to see how you were doing and what you've been up to. Golems, I see.
Oh yeah, I've been into that for a while now.
So, how's progress? What'd you figure out?
I made pretty good progress today, but it's still a secret, so I can't talk about it. This is a really unfortunate decision you've made to, in this very specific time, come to try to talk to me about stuff. So let's
Yeah,
do
that
something
seems to happen a
else.
lot, doesn't it? No, I don't think I will. This is how friends are, Cobalt. This is just how parents are. I think I'll just hang out here. I don't know, maybe
Okay.
forever.
Well, I don't know what to do now then.
And this is just how, and Cobalt, this is how everyone else feels.
What's Rockrock doing?
I don't know.
Now I was asking Dova.
Seeing character. You were in character like a second ago.
Okay, good point.
It sounded
Huh?
like you were trying to change the subject.
Anyways, what are you doing, Rock?
Well, after getting up, he's gonna go. He has 2 items he's gonna check off his checklist. He's gonna go see Squid Face, and he's gonna go see a man about camels.
All right. You managed to source the key from Eric's, I'd say, because I assume that you guys are just the
Yeah,
Keith really-
basically, people come up to me and I give it to them.
okay. The key does not seem to be working.
We've been rejected by Shulus.
I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna use the term bark, but that's not the term I want to use. But that's the only one that can come to my. He's gonna bark at the key and try it again.
Could you give me an intimidation check?
Yes, I can.
Didn't we have a problem opening the door last time?
Yeah. Unfortunately, the key is still just a key, and thus has no charisma score.
So it automatically fails. Right, Dova?
Alright. The key is intimidated by you. Unfortunately, it can't really change its current shape, so...
Do I know the key is intimidated by me?
You feel victorious. You
That is
feel
progress right
intimidating.
It knows who's boss. Okay, so since he's gonna growl at that, because he's gonna have some extra words with them. He's gonna go back to Eric's, chuck him the key and say key's broken, and then walk out and hop on Ember.
Key's broken. I broke the key.
Key machine broke.
I
No,
mean, that
explanation,
would
just
that would kind of be his first assumption, is that Rock broke it. It is a very fair assumption.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And he's gonna just, follow out. And how did you break it?
He's gonna shrug, but be pointing to him. It's like, it's Rock, like... any
Point
number
at the
of
sign on the ship.
Oh yeah, as he's leaving the ship, he's gonna embed his axe on the floor.
It stays there with a heavy thunk. It's kind of embeds itself into the wood, maybe in it. But then there's this kind of squeaking sound as the wood actually forces the axe back out, as it just kind of clatters on the ground.
He's gonna recall it, and he's gonna do the thing where you do with the 2 fingers to the eyes. I'm not done with you yet. He's got other pressing matters right now.
It's the I'm watching you.
Yep. And he's gonna go. It's gonna be one dark stormy night, and him and this ship are gonna go at it.
Roll another intimidation check.
Let's see how much headway you can gain before it fixes it.
Yep.
It's like fighting a cutting board.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how much of a rock it could take. But he's gonna hop on Ember. and he's gonna take off.
All right.
Raku wants to try focusing on him or keeping focus on him while he takes off with the spyglass, just to practice.
Sorry.
I know I'm just too awesome. It's okay, Nova.
Was like choking on my own spit. What was the last thing that you wanted to do, Riku?
I wanted to just when Rock takes off on Ember, I'm assuming he's flying.
Correct.
I want to just practice like actively watching a target like that with my spyglass.
Okay. It's fairly shaky at first, and you're having trouble, holding your hand steady enough. But after a few moments, a sort of a winding, coiling, almost like a cross, starts to sort of just point at Rock and the Nightmare, and it slowly starts to steady the spyglass in your hand.
Sweet.
Rock's
Like-
gonna go ahead.
I like this thing.
Rock think to Ember and for them to quote unquote vanish. Because the Nightmare can go into the I think it's ethereal plane.
Yes, I believe so.
Yep. So he's gonna tell her to do that.
Give me just a moment to... Okay. Sorry, I need to spend a few moments reacquainting myself with exactly what the ethereal plane is. Because I know Cobalt actually disappears there every so freaking often, but
Every combat. Every
Come on,
combat.
come
I
on.
still
probably
don't know
gonna
100% on it.
Gotta be careful, Rock. Cobalt's probably gonna be riding your Nightmare while on the ethereal plane.
He can transport up to 3 willing creatures.
So Cobalt will blink in combat, and then 3 of us will touch the Nightmare, and then we'll all blink, and the enemy's gonna be like, "What?"
And then one guy is just going to be remaining.
Well, I'm invisible.
I imagine the Nightmare comes back and Cobalt is suddenly there, even though he was like miles away. And he's just like, I can explain.
It's just waving.
I can explain.
Technically, there's no gravity in the ethereal plane. As as you first enter, could you give me a Constitution check? You've never done this before.
Nope. He for the last couple weeks he's been working getting her comfortable with him, or as much as he himself feels comfortable with her, to ask her to do this outside.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Constitution check?
Yes.
One sec, guys. Hopefully that's better. For some reason, Dova, you keep, your connection seems to be really unsteady.
Yeah, that's
Yeah?
how it was for me.
Well, it is 7 o'clock in the college town.
Well, this already
and I
sounds a
live
lot
in the-
better.
I live in an apartment.
Did you change
yeah.
the server?
No, I just reconnected.
Oh.
I'd say restart your Discord, Dova.
Okay.
I'm gonna change the server. Sorry about that, everyone. We're just... The internet is a finicky thing sometimes.
Alright, how's that?
That sounds much better so far.
Cool. This is really weird music. Really loud, my god.
You said a Constitution check and not a save, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'm good at saves. I'm not too confident with that check.
As you enter, you are temporarily overwhelmed by just how much everything has changed, by the lack of gravity, by something else as well. Just the whole unearthliness of your situation right now causes you to be dazed and simultaneously slowly lose your grip on the reins as well as the saddle as you float upwards. Thankfully, you're able to sort of, as you blink heavily, you realize you're floating away. You manage to snag the reins as they float upwards along with you. They kind of, you let go of them as you were coming upwards, so they had a little bit of upward momentum. As you are now about 5 feet above the saddle, but holding on to the leather rein.
Can I do a perception check to see what's around me?
Go ahead. Everything seems to be the same. Aside from the almost black and white world around you and the muted colors and almost complete silence. There is, however, a unwelcome sight on the horizon.
Can you say again? You were breaking up.
There's an almost a very unwelcome sight on the horizon. Where the volcano is, there is a tremendous column of almost shimmering black and white like static off in the distance. There's also this very low bass note that you can hear just reverberating through the valley.
I'm gonna look towards it and ask Sora if she hears the same thing.
She eventually replies to you after a few moments. She says, I do. It's a tremendous repository of magical energy of some sort.
He's gonna smile and ask her, are you up for an adventure?
Are you? She replies.
Does she say aye, aye, Captain?
She says,
I have
maybe
never.
tomorrow. I have a headache.
I have never not been ready.
He's gonna
So
smile.
I suppose I am.
He's gonna smile super wide and tell Ember, let's have an interesting day, and go head towards the mountain.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Alright.
Most people would be scared of, are you sure? Me, I embrace that.
Sounds like
Sure.
fun.
I still have a character sheet rolled up just in case.
Might need. What's everybody else doing during this time? Eric's, you're still training with Ro.
I think we're gonna head out of the compound.
Where would you go?
Just out into the forest, do a little bit of exploring.
Alright.
I think
Raku
we'll
would
bring...
go with.
Yeah. We'll bring Raku, that works.
Sully, Cobalt.
I guess I'll go buy some of those more specific parts that I need, that you said I needed.
Alright.
I'd probably be going with Cobalt to ask him if he's found anything else interesting about the tuner. Unless I was asked to go with them.
Some of the supplies you last sourced from actually no, it was Jerry inside of the Forbidden City. Sorry, the Hidden City, not the Forbidden City. So at the moment, you're currently unsure of where to get those supplies.
Wasn't one of the towns we went to that I had a circle in? Wasn't one of them like a smithing? Not a smithing city, but like a city known for smithing or metalworking.
But once you have,
No,
It was.
Baldur's. I don't really need to label Baldur's Gate, I guess. Mordecai and Hollera.
I don't remember.
I mean, the
Can
one
we,
that
take a look.
I went to last week had the huge shipbuilding business, so I'm sure there's a lot of supplies over there.
Yeah,
You would
the
know
Halarach.
Sure. Let's try there.
All right. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
You got it.
And Raku, you still have not gotten any word back from
Shaluth.
Yes. He has not sent you anything back yet.
Raku.
Oh, that's so much better.
Raku's gonna halfway wonder if, like, they're in trouble, or if one of us pissed them off and we lost our permission to go there. So he's just kind of in between.
I mean,
And-
if
and
you
He stopped caring about the scroll since Rock has his tendril now.
yeah, you don't think you left on bad terms,
Yeah, but
and you
he's
can't really think of any obvious reasons why they would, shut you out.
What's happening here? I guess yeah. Raku, while he's walking with Eric, she's gonna kind of talk to him about it. So I haven't heard anything back from Shaluth about the scroll, and so far we've tried twice to see about getting to the hidden city. Do you think like something's in trouble with him?
I have no idea. We could have done
Do any of us-
something on accident. They could be having trouble. There's any number of possibilities here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe someone got seen opening the door to the city. But yeah, I don't know. Haven't heard back from him, but then again, I've never asked him for something, so I don't know what his return time is like. And I don't think there's any way we can get there ourselves.
I think that there is some sort of overarching being that is like controlling this entire world. And I think that he has decided that we can't have that little bonus anymore.
I'm happy I'm role-playing.
Eric's is overcome with the sudden realization that is probably not the case, and he should stick to his own goddamn knowledge.
I mean, there's conspiracy theorists that believe that kind of nonsense.
Stop breaking the fourth wall. That's what you should stop doing.
I put something in the the room for you, Eric.
I'll put that on stream. I mean, I really, in characterly, I have nothing more to offer on this because I have no idea either.
Okay.
Maybe there's been a large
You could've
surge
done
of
that and
powerful
spent
magic
7
that
minutes on
Shulu maybe not like from a paladin. You know, something liches don't like.
He didn't like my bayonet. Like, he screamed and told me to get away from him, and I was still able there. He didn't
I think he
banish
was
me
more.
from the dimension.
I think he was more curious about its existence than outright afraid of you bringing it near him.
No, yeah. Well, he asked me to not touch him with it, and he would
Yeah.
not touch it at all.
He didn't. He didn't say get that away from me.
Okay.
He wasn't treating you like some sort of crazy monster person.
Unlike Rock.
Not that crazy.
I mean, you're crazy and you are now a monster person, so.
I mean, true, but that's still. I have nothing more to say to that. I can't defend myself. You're
Yeah.
not wrong. I give people nightmares. I think at this point I put the two fairy to shame.
Yeah. That's probably true.
I mean, you probably don't put the Tooth Fairy to shame. You're just really irritating.
Like a
Gotta
bad mall Santa compared to the real Santa.
I'll take on the two fairy. Steal her entire horde.
No, we're going like Hellboy tooth fairies here. You should
Sure.
swarm that your teeth.
Make like little plated gloves out of those teeth. Ooh, yes. Can we?
You have enough, probably.
Ideas. Don't give pointy ideas to Rock. Things end up badly for him.
Anyways, so I guess we'll switch back to Rock for a moment. Oh, actually, let's get to Cobalt. I'll figure it out. So, you would actually manage to find an out of the way supply. It's kind of a weird arrangement where quite a bit of outside suppliers just sort of come together and offer this trinket and specialty supply store, catering to magic users, of course. There's also quite a bit of rare materials in use for art, blacksmithing, just raw materials from every corner of both this continent and lands even farther away. You would manage to pick up some of basically the nickel and dime rare materials that you needed. And we can calculate exactly how much gold it's going to cost when we get to all the when the golem's actually finished.
Okay.
You'd say you're about halfway done. You've gotten
Sweet.
the sort of frame as well as some of the parts that will get it to actually move. It will take a good amount more time.
Okay.
So,
I guess that's 2 teleportation circles cast.
Yeah, keep that mark down for me.
Mhm. I guess while we're walking, Cobalt's gonna fill Sully in on basically everything that he had missed and everything we know about the island so far.
Alright. Well, technically, it's all happened in the same month. You don't need to have any sort of history check because it just works.
Yeah.
And Sully,
Me.
during all of this, you come to the realization that you haven't checked the date in a while, and that the midwinter celebration might be coming.
Ah. Huh.
It's basically Christmas. Let's be real here.
I guess I'll go shopping for presents then.
Cobalt's gonna ask Sully what kind of girls, what kind of guys Istal likes.
You know, that's a very good question. I'm not sure entirely.
Oh,
I'd say rock.
I don't think so.
I don't know. She toyed with him a little bit.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. It
That's
just
the
seems like
most
an
I've seen
Istal.
from anyone.
That just seems like an Istal thing to do.
I mean, we hugged, I guess.
I hugged her too a lot. I don't think that
Yes,
counts.
but she hugged me first.
I guess I'll just talk to Istal
He
again.
will then
See how
stop
she's
and ponder, like, does I still like me?
doing.
Nah.
But yeah, I guess I'll drop off the supplies and then go check on Istal.
All right. Isol is currently in her book. Currently kind of lying down on the bed. And I'm guessing you're just sneaking right in.
So what happens is Cobalt teleports in, says hi, but like stops himself, teleports back out, and then knocks on the rock.
You get absolutely no response.
He knocks on the rock again.
Again,
He,
like you knocking on the rock doesn't make much noise. As
Did he-
the
did
just
he
the
notice
weight
when
of it. What?
Did you notice when I came in and said hi?
Apparently not.
Do I have any? See if I have any spells or cantrips that make noise. I don't think so. Hold on.
Conjure a gong.
I respect your privacy by knocking, but assert my authority by entering anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nova. I love that whole thing. They did it 3 times in that one show, and it was fantastic. I'm both respecting your privacy by knocking, but asserting my authority as your father by coming in anyway. Phone's for you. I got nothing. I'm just gonna go in again, and then knock
Alright.
on the other side of the rock.
No response.
Are there any rocks I can throw?
That certainly there's a handful of pebbles on the ground.
From the inside, I'm gonna throw some.
You
rocks at the
realize
big
that
rock.
the lights on the inside are now out.
Are
As it
now
is-
out?
Yeah.
Wait, what time is it?
It's like 5 in the morning.
If I'd known that, I wouldn't have. Nah, whatever.
You guys are nocturnal. Come on.
I know, but if I
You
had
harp
known
on
what
me
time
for
it was-
forgetting.
Of course I do. Oh, well, I'll check on her later.
Okay.
Um,
She was probably asleep.
Okay.
Hey.
I got nothing else though. No other ideas.
All right. So, for you guys in the forest, are you guys going anywhere in particular? Or just kind of wandering? And that would
We're
be
up to us.
who and Eric's.
Mostly just wandering. We've got to get a map of Cholt itself.
We have it. Oh, you mean like a detailed map of all the areas and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, Raku has a partial map.
I mean, like one that
That
we
I
can
got
actually
from the-
see.
I have one of the. I only have a copy I made from the automatic cartographer.
There's a
Well,
good
better
picture.
better start cartographing.
But anyways, I'm meaning like one that we can actually see. And I do have a program website thing that you could use if you wanted to make one, Dova.
What?
Oh, you did want to take my other headset.
Yes, yes, I
Okay,
do.
I was going to ask that.
Oh, that
Let me at least get the Faerun map up. And that is huge.
Yeah.
I think we will go ahead and kind of do more of a scout thing. On this map, could you maybe draw a line around the area that we're not allowed to go into, Dova?
Those would actually be the give me okay. I will get this into Fantasy Grounds and
Alright.
start working on that.
But I think we'll scout around the little bay that we're settled on and just head south along that coast a little bit.
Okay.
Just kind of looking around and kind of scouting for anything interesting.
And I'll just add more details to my map as we're going,
All right.
like landmarks that I'm seeing, and using my spyglass as we go to see things of interest.
Both of you give me perception checks. Okay. You actually come across another one of Sir Charles Hammersworth camp. It's a small gathering of kind of moldy white tents. The sort of stark white fabric that used to be has now been dirtied by rain, grime, mold, all sorts of things. It looks like it's been like this for quite a while. And giving a brief look over the camp, it seems that it hasn't really been disturbed too much. You can see a few supply crates containing something you're not quite sure unless you take a closer look, as well as the main tent contains a wardrobe as well as what looks to be a combination desk and just sort of a writing surface, a writing table.
Well, I'm gonna go take a look at the writing table.
Alright.
Is everything in pretty good condition, or?
You know, as good as it could be, as it's been in a jungle for quite a long. It's clear that the tent fabric has been enchanted to increase its durability and waterproofness, as the inside is rather dry and free of the constant dew of the jungle. It is very, very humid on the inside, though, and most of the literature, notes, any sort of maps have kind of just rotted away by this point.
Alright, you said there was a wardrobe?
Yes.
Rocky wants to start going through that.
Alright. Opening up, you notice that it's mostly empty. There are a few sets of rather mundane clothes, as well as a bona fide pith helmet. I'll just grab a picture of one, just to get you an idea of exactly what it is. Basically just that.
Yeah, okay. I
It's a
thought so.
stereotypical, like, British adventurer.
Yeah, the British safari explorer. You just said
Eric's.
that safari
Well, you
exploration.
do have a
Oh,
very
yes.
detailed map of Cholt.
Yeah.
I did not see that
That's-
in there.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
One hex is 10 miles. That's a.
You need to get that
Yeah,
in
it's a-
Fantasy Grounds.
I was working on that. Actually, it's in Fantasy Grounds, right? I didn't actually.
Valley of Lost Honor.
Ah, I didn't. Okay. Apparently. There we go. Oh. I was very confused when when it opened up in photos. Oh, that's a big boy. Oh, good lord. Small, small, small. It's literally taking up my entire screen. Yeah, that's a boy he thick.
Oh, holy crap.
And you guys are on the far south. You can see the Kobold Mountains. You guys are in the Shilku Bay.
This is still loading for me.
Yep.
Mine is too.
You guys are in the clearing on the western point of Shilku Bay.
Oh, there we go.
I'll draw a little marking.
Alright.
Okay.
So which fiery death mountain did I go towards?
The Peaks of Flame.
Oh, the best kind of ones. I know how to pick 'em.
I am slightly concerned by the number of volcanoes in our immediate vicinity.
Don't worry about them.
They're just furnace heaters.
I wouldn't worry. It's geothermal heat. Good for the planet.
I mean, we're close to the water, so technically, statistically, we're at the safest point.
Yeah. I mean, just gotta look past Vesuvius, so. 'Cause
So,
that was a
is
definite
this
thing.
yellow area where we're not allowed?
Yes.
That's a lot of area.
Frog People has a really wide branch of things.
You feel that they might have been overzealous,
Camp
and
Just
that
righteous.
might have been a move to secure power.
Well, it's like a third of the island.
Yeah.
Undead territory?
Where does it say that?
The little skull and crossbones. Apparently, I see one in the
Oh yeah.
River
upper, the
Tureki.
right next to
Oh,
there.
man. You better power level infel for that shit.
I thought Infel was an invalid now.
He still exists.
Yeah.
Just talk about the undead.
I think
Just hit start, go to the player select screen, and hit
His
info.
his blood is still, holy. So just being in the general area will make them run away.
Is it normal to not be able to see the very far right of the map?
yeah, I'm
No.
not. We are missing.
It seems like
Where?
it's cut off ever so slightly.
What do you mean?
On
Where?
the very right.
Bottom right.
Oh, the bottom right, yeah.
Oh,
Doesn't go all the way over.
I think that's because they assume players are never going to fully
yeah. You know how
explore
much
the island.
land that is?
Yeah. Plus, it doesn't go very much further.
I mean, there's just the whole nation or area of Thindal there, and about half of Samarak.
Oh, we need to colonize the Sky Lizard Mountains.
Wait, where are those? Oh, I see. Yes,
Directly across.
but first Cobalt Mountains.
Yes. Because we need to change that Valley of Dread to Valley
We-
of Bread.
Yes. Raku is down. But
Where's the
that
Valley
mine
Dread?
would be fantastic to take.
Which one? Oh, the one right to the north here, yeah.
So this is what the automatic cartographer shows us, right, Dova?
Yes.
I mean, it would make sense for it to not show us all the way to the east there. It only has a limited range.
And
And
it
this
does
is
show
what-
us the mines and stuff.
It doesn't describe exactly what things, but if it has a name, it seems to display it on the for most spot.
Well, we're
Like
going to those...
geographical things and bays and
I thought this whole area over here was forest and jungle, not mountain and volcano.
oh no. There's
You
quite
were
a bit
wrong.
of a volcano.
I mean, we're across the bay, and that's a couple miles, so we haven't exactly been exploring that area.
Mm.
Yeah. I think instead we'll head up north and check out those mines straight up.
Okay.
I think that's what we'll do instead of
Yeah.
wrapping around. Because on the main map, it didn't look that far.
I mean, Raku has already been interested in the caves around, and so once we got to that point, because Eric said we'd be following the coast, with Raku using his spyglass, he probably would have found a cave entrance. Or is that a stretch?
It's a bit of a stretch. But the mark on the map of where the the cave entrance might be is the mine on this map.
Okay.
Let's change gears for a moment and go back to Rock, who is currently going closer to the light like a freaking moth.
It's shiny and bright.
It's
and
shiny. It's bright. Ed,
I
it
mean,
takes
I've only
quite a
lost, like,
while
one
to
arm.
actually travel through. You're going very fast, no doubt, but it still takes a while. However, when you're still quite a ways away, the nightmare kind of slows down, almost reluctant to go any closer. As you can start to feel almost a radiant heat radiating off of this beam of pure light.
Hmm. Ask her what's wrong.
I have to keep reminding myself they can.
He keeps forgetting that you can actually understand her
Yeah.
and talk to her and stuff.
It can understand, but it can't respond.
Even with awakened mind.
Shit, it probably.
Was it awakened?
I have
No.
awakened mind.
Actually, no. Nothing can respond telekinetically or telepathically. I don't
Can I
believe.
do it? I have to read the ability.
Yeah. Yeah, it can't respond.
Nope, but it can understand me.
It can. It can also understand when you're just talking. So.
Yeah.
It would not give any direct indication of why, but only that it continues to slow down and almost starts to swerve to the side to avoid.
Can I do an inside check?
Sure. Yeah, it definitely doesn't want to get any closer.
Leave the horse rock.
It's kind of a little bit scared.
I'm gonna pat her on the mane and try to get her as close as she's as comfortable to it, so I can see what's going on. Because
Give me
nightmare
an
should not
animal
be.
handling check.
Yeah, nightmare should not be scared of fire.
It's not fire. It's more a beam of energy.
He doesn't know the difference.
It's starting to actually like disobey you pulling on the reins and trying to get it back on track.
I'm not gonna fight with her. Rock knows she's not the smartest lizard island. But he's gonna ask Sora if she has any idea of why Ember's acting like that, because she is smarter than he is.
Well, Rock. I think it's reasonable to assume that any sort of mortal creature is not comfortable with their demise. And judging by the amount of energy that I can see from an imminent demise is very likely.
Yes. People die when they go into the light.
People die when they are killed.
He's not gonna get it. It's like, okay, like he's gonna get it, but just they don't go towards their imminent minds. It's like, okay, why? That's where the fun is. But he's just gonna pat Ember on it and then swerve her away but he's gonna take a mental note, and then he's gonna head down south towards Snapping Turtle Bay.
Okay. You're just gonna head around.
Yeah, if he's not gonna force her, cause it's, and then with Sora saying something about, oh, you end up dying that way, he's gonna take mental notes of it, but not gonna force it.
Okay.
But he is gonna go towards the other volcano.
All right. Towards the volcano. Okay. You will do so. It'll take another hour. Is there any limit to? No, it just works.
Yep. Nightmares are amazing animals.
As you continue to pass over, there's a particular point when you're crossing over a barren landscape below where you quite a large concentration of humanoid spirits sort of roaming the landscape below over a roughly, we'll say, mile square area. There has to be maybe 100 of these souls just sort of aimlessly wandering.
That's unusual. Let's see. I'm still in the ethereal plane, aren't I?
Yes.
I'm gonna tap her for us to go out of the ethereal plane real quick so I can get a better look of what's actually there.
All right. As you return to the material plane, you almost lose your grip again as gravity suddenly pulls back down. Thankfully, you are able to stay in the saddle. Looking downwards, you can see the faint remains of what looks to be a small citadel. Not like a citadel, but more of maybe a chapel with large arches, the remnants of what look to be stained glass panels, long empty with just shards on the outside. All of which is completely coated in this this fine grayish ash.
I'm gonna head down and look at it closer.
Let's switch back to someone else. Cobalt and Sully, what are you guys doing?
Reviewing ingredients for the spells, and I'm probably trying to figure out what I should get everyone for the coming holiday.
All right.
I am going to, since I already got as much progress on my golem as I'm going to make today, I'm going to try making some ice cream.
All right.
Which I decided to call it ice cream.
You scream, and it's ice.
All right.
It'll be a lot of
Skills you
like I know all the ingredients. It's gonna be like mixing small portions, like trying out different.
You're just gonna
recipes
keep
with the
experimenting
ingredients.
with it?
Yeah, but in small
Alright.
portions.
You have an idea of what should go in it, but you have no idea the proportions as well as the technique to actually get that.
Yes,
Give me a couple of cooking checks.
I have
with-
those.
I'd say one regular and
Disadvantage.
2 with disadvantage. Since for the first 2 you have basically no idea what you're doing, but by the third one you kind of have no lucky point. Actually,
I was about to
You
say
can use-
this is exactly what lucky points are for.
you can use lucky points on the third one. Actually, you only have 1 left anyways, so
Yeah,
Use it wherever you want, really.
Disadvantage is exactly what lucky points are supposed to be used for. Hey Dova, can I use a lucky point?
I mean, if you want.
I mean, it's not like I'm going to be doing anything else with it. Unless, Dova completely says lucky point doesn't matter. And I'm going to pick the 20.
All right.
I don't expect to get it right off the bat, even with the 20, but like, maybe my next.
You're
roll doesn't have
learning
disadvantage.
quite a bit from this. Your first result. How are you chilling it, by the way?
My ever full pot.
Oh right, you can make very cold water with it. As
And it can
you
keep things cold, I thought.
can it?
Yeah, I mean,
Plus, I believe isn't it in Sully's inventory? Or
No,
do you
it's
have
not.
one as well?
Oh, I guess.
Oh
I
right,
have
you bought one.
Yeah, I don't have a description for it, but I seem to remember it was able to keep things hot and cold as well.
Yes.
Once per day, summon its volume of water at any temperature between freezing and. That is
Okay,
what it
so-
does.
I also
As
have a bag
you
of
summon.
No,
I
wait,
believe
I don't-
that's in
I don't have a bag
Raku's
of
inventory.
clothing. Okay, well, I can still make it in the pot, and I think it should stay cold at least for a while.
As you mess around with trying to get the temperature even colder a little bit with prestidigitation. Or sorry, prestidigitation. That's the real pronunciation, not prestidigitation.
Well, I mean, I don't need to get it colder than freezing, do I?
Actually, I think you need to get a little bit colder. Well, you need to freeze
I
the
thought it
milk
would be-
after all.
I thought it would be like. Is that not the same temperature, freezing temperature as water?
It's about the same, if not maybe a bit cold. The way to get temperatures that low is to use salt water, which can dip down to a lower temperature than the fresh water.
Okay.
With your first
actually
attempt,
learning.
you managed to make a sort of a very runny but slightly thickened kind of sugary milk custard. You kind of experimented with using eggs as well, just to try to get that texture. And it seems to work a little bit, but it needs a lot more refinement into the actual technique. As right now your technique involves 2 pots, one of which is the everfull pot full of very cold water, and the other is just an empty pot with the mixture in. Go ahead and give me one check with the
Is this-
disadvantage.
Okay. I was hoping the lucky would make it so the second one doesn't have disadvantage. Oh, I was disconnected, but now I'm back.
Ah,
I was like, why didn't it roll? Game, please. Hello? I keep trying to... I pick up the dice, and as I drag it over to the chat box, it switches to dragging the chat box. Oh wait, with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Why didn't it roll it?
You
Got it?
can also, I mean, it went in, but you can also just, I think it's double click in the box to roll
Okay.
more automatically.
And you did get the disadvantage roll?
yes.
Okay.
You think you're starting to really get, used to the whole, the principle of how this actually works. Though, one thing is still evading you, which is how to get the water that cold, as it's freezing before you can actually do anything with that cold temperature. You're starting to realize that you do need to get it real cold in some way, or else this is not going to work. and you're not really sure of how to do that yet.
Frostbite.
Final roll.
Oh, I was talking about the spell Frostbite.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you just thought I was saying Frostbite for no reason. There you go.
You come up with a breakthrough. You were actually using fresh water before, but in kind of experimenting, you've heard about saltwater taffy, so saltwater ice cream, maybe?
Wait, Dova.
Yeah?
Cobalt accidentally knocked a bag of salt into the mixture with his tail while he was cooking. That was the lucky point that happened. That was the luck.
That was a luck. Sure.
Yes.
Most of the salt goes into the actual pot full of the cold water, but a good amount also goes into the ice cream mixture. So you're finally getting it down to the temperature you need, and it's finally like firm.
Sweet. Literally.
However, it's kind of it's a fairly runny, almost like a slushy texture, and you reach in to take a sip or take a little taste. And could you give me a Constitution saving throw? Cobalt? Hey, hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up?
I was gonna ask Sully to be my taste tester.
All right.
And the original
You're not
spell
gonna,
bowl that I got it
taste
in.
it yourself?
I'm gonna taste it after he tastes it.
Okay.
I'm just excited that I was able to get it closer to the consistency.
Sully, you there? You are muted, current. Just so you know. We'll come back to you. How about? Eric's and Raku. You are looking through the possessions, the sort of notes and sorry. The little bits and baubles of Sir Charles Hammersmith. Raku, you had just found a pretty cool-looking explorers, and Eric's, you were starting to look through the desk. You're kind of looking through the books. You find one of his old journals, and it details about him hearing rumors of a trove of treasure somewhere on the island. That was really the only interesting thing to note, as most of the other entries are just day-to-day journals, notes about some of his findings, none of which really apply or appeal to you. They seem to be more in regards to his sort of his means of funding. Since it was a scientific expedition, he has to kind of come back with results. So he is studying the fossilized remains and searching for the fossilized remains of some of the large beasts which once inhabited this area. In regards to the actual treasure on the island, he notes that the tribes people who mention it do so with almost fear, almost as if whenever they let the secret out, something bad happens. Nothing bad happens in the immediate time after it's sort of revealed by the tribes people, but that sort of attitude still persists. And you get the feeling that this is in regards to the gigantic fucking treasure that seems to be hoarded inside the large volcanoes in the center of the island. The rumors of which state that nobody has really come back alive. Thus, the treasure is still there. As you kind of close up that book and start to look through the rest of the deck, you notice on like the side, inside the actual, like one of the smaller drawers, there's an inscription, kind of like a small symbol engraved into the side, kind of obscured by a rather thick layer of dust.
I'll call Raku over to look at it with me.
I'm gonna use because I don't really want to kind of smear it or whatever. I'm gonna use prestidigitation to clean off the drawer to look at the symbol.
Alright.
Just
You
like
kinda
one
use-
use, yeah.
Yeah, you use prestidigitation, and the dust kind of puffs away, and you kind of peek in afterwards, and you see. Could I get both of you to make a dexterity check?
Yeah.
As the dust has now been removed from the now functioning explosive ruin.
It's a save?
Yes. Alright, the DC was 15.
Oh, wait, did I make it or?
You made
Okay,
it.
so I take no damage.
As Eric,
I did not hear anything you just said. I heard as and then nothing.
Yeah, you are breaking
no,
up
I didn't
so bad.
say. I didn't say anything. I was still figuring out exactly
Oh.
what was happening.
'Cause
Raku,
it's so choppy
you
for me.
Raku, you recognize this rune as one you saw in one of his other journals, and immediately duck out of the way. At the same exact moment, Eric's, after seeing that the rune has been uncovered by the dust, sort of leans in to get a closer look. Eric's, you take 31 points of combined piercing, flame, and bludgeoning damage. As a good bit of wooden shrapnel is basically just peppered into your face.
Well, that was shocking.
Kobo, actually, where's your cooking space, Kobo?
Just in the middle of camp.
Sully? Are you
Yes.
outside or are you inside?
I'm probably outside. No, I am probably inside. Probably in Rock's room because I didn't tell you what I got everyone as presents, did I?
I think you should tell me, though.
I will tell
Actually-
you. I'm gonna
Okay.
type it out.
Okay.
Actually, but I'm in a room working on something.
Rock, and Cobalt. Far in the distance, you hear the reverberating crack of what sounds to be thunder. As every single bird in a roughly 10-mile radius takes flight at once and just kind of flies away and startled. Eric's, your face looks like it's basically black with soot, except for the eyes as they open, and they're just complete bright white. It looks like a cartoon. Like the feathers that make up your hair are just completely slick. Kale is also looking exactly the same.
That blinking noise.
Yeah. You audibly blink as you cough out a bit of black smoke.
Well, Thanks for the warden, bro.
Hey, watch out! That was in a explosive ruin. If you see another one of those, yeah, yeah. I want to look around the room to see what the damage was and if the material of the tent was damaged.
There's not much of a room anymore. Pretty much everything above waist height is just completely gone and singed.
What
As
about
as the
Okay.
explosion was forced mostly upward.
Okay, what's the armoire looking like? Or the
The
wardrobe?
wardrobe. It has been the front has been caved in and knocked over, so it's
Uh,
currently on its back with the front door kind of cracked and splintered.
I want to reach in and check out the hat.
You grab the hat, and it seems to be mundane, but very well.
Alright, I'm not getting anything off of it.
As far as you know, not at all.
I'm just gonna clip it to my bag, so I'm gonna take it.
All right.
Oh, there's my
Because,
thing.
and, Raku was going to search the wardrobe and the dressers for, false drawers, but I guess he's just gonna sift through it now.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
I can definitely do that. Here it is. 23.
All right. You would manage to find a small, what looks to be a old coin pouch. Full of some gold coins, whose markings you don't recognize. Still gold coins, so they should still be good to spend.
Yeah. Alright, I'll take the whole pouch.
All right.
Are there any runes on any of these coins that remind me of the spell coins?
Give me a moment. There is one actually. It actually seems to be a reusable one.
Is it a fireball coin?
That'd be amazing.
No. However, it is somewhat related. As from looking at its design and sort of just guessing arcane-wise, you believe that this is a coin which does absolutely nothing except for light a pipe in the user's mouth.
Alright, Raku wants to... Ah, man. What's the desk looking like?
Like, like 4 legs just
It's just
with
smoking.
nothing. Yeah,
The legs are still standing, but the
the
rest
legs
of
are
the
still
desk is
standing.
gone.
Yeah, the legs are like stuck down into the
Yeah.
dirt a little bit, but the rest of it's gone.
Was there
And as you actually look over, one of the legs just falls over.
Yeah, that's what I'm envisioning. Was this just like a desk and stuff, or was there a bed in here?
Just the desk. You think there may have been a hammock, but that has since rotted away.
Is this the only tent?
There are a handful of other tents, but those seem to be empty aside from a scattering of kind of a dilapidated cloth and bedding materials on the ground.
Because if he has a coin specifically for this, then Raku feels like there is a nice pipe around here somewhere.
You can give me another investigation check.
Yep. I mean, it's base 23.
Oh yeah, I'd say you'd definitely be able to find. Actually, where
So,
does he
yeah.
keep his pipe?
Maybe on him, but if he doesn't have this coin to light it, I would think
I
it might be
figure it's
together.
either on him or was in the desk.
Yeah, that's what I
As you
was
are
thinking too,
as you're
but-
looking around, you kind of look on the ground. You look in the actual tents and sort of under the bedding, which is kind of disgusting because it's rotted, it's moist, it's damp, it's just kind of gross. And eventually, you actually manage to spot it.
I'm assuming it's like ivory and probably survived the blast.
Oh yeah, it looks to be made of ivory and perhaps silver of some sort, and is currently lodged in the side of a tree nearby. Like the part where you put in your mouth is actually like in the tree. It looks like the tree is smoking the.
Yeah, that's
That's
okay.
amazing.
I'm gonna walk up. Sir Tree, may I take this pipe?
Sir Tree.
Could you give me a persuasion check?
Yes, I can. All right.
It seems that you've
17.
persuaded the tree to give up the.
All right, cool. So I'll take the pipe, and then I'm gonna clean it.
Strength check. Actually, what's your base strength?
Huh? Oh.
What's your-
Strength is 15.
Okay. It seems for a moment that the tree has actually changed its mind as you try to take the pipe from it, but just won't let go. Thankfully, you persuaded a bit by angling your feet into the actual wood and kind of pulling up with both feet and both hands, and managed to eventually get it out.
This whole episode just feels like a cartoon. Like I feel like I'm sideways on the tree pulling on it, and I get it free and just fall straight down.
Yep.
I mean, maybe.
With your fantastic dexterity, though, you managed to land on your feet.
All right. So I'm gonna use prestidigitation on the pipe.
Clean it up.
Yep.
All right. It is sparkling.
I'm gonna put some Miranda's hand in there, and I'm gonna use the coin.
All right.
And take a puff.
You're wearing the cap,
Yes.
the explorer's helmet.
The one that I just found.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll swap out. Because I was wearing my helmet of I don't know what the fuck it does. I still need you to give me an item for it.
That is true. I need to do that.
That sounds like a good title for that item.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I'm gonna put on the exploration hat and the pipe, so I have the whole look. And Raku is now just envisioning a new identity.
Yep. Raku, you are confronted with the overpowering urge to report you in some faraway land.
What faraway land? So I assume I would know exactly where I need to send it to.
Actually, I don't think you would. It just seems like a place that is very, very posh. But at the same time, you also hold a disdain for those same posh people who don't leave and just are lazy at the Science Institute.
Mm-hmm.
Those lame desk sitters.
Exactly.
I just need to get my funding so I can go explore Atlantis.
Exactly. You know exactly where it should be too.
Where's Iceland?
Now you're thinking of Greenland.
No, it's a mistranslation. Okay, well, I'm gonna take off the hat to scratch my head.
Alright.
Do any of these feelings fade?
A little bit, but it still seems like a good idea to do it. Sort of in a weird way.
Alright, can I make a check that I'm more interested in figuring out what the helmet does than getting my report or my findings in right away?
Yes, go ahead and give me a wisdom check.
Alright.
Yes, you managed to sort of snap yourself out of the expeditioning mindset towards the actual current situation. You're not sure whether that was magic or just a placebo.
I'm gonna look at the pipe, and then look at the herbs inside of it, and go, which of these is the problem? He's gonna talk to himself, and he's gonna kind of shake it out, stomp on the embers, and then just put it away, put the pipe away.
All right.
I guess cleaning it first.
Prestidigitation, of course.
Just
All right. Go back to
Yeah.
rock.
I'll join Eric's back.
Actually, Eric's. What are you guys gonna do now?
I'm gonna wipe off my face, brush off Kale a little, and
I'll also cast on both of them to try to clean them up.
Okay.
I will look around, see if there's anything worth salvaging other than, you know, what he already grabbed.
Okay.
And then I think...
Inside the crate, as you're kind of looking around, you see that it is full of about fist-sized metallic containers. Very thinly walled, it seems, but there's no obvious way of how to open it.
Yeah, I'll take it with us. I think we want to take this tent cover too. Or is it destroyed?
The tent is fairly destroyed at this point.
Oh. But was enchanted.
Yeah, that's why Raku
Was.
asked too. He was gonna take some of the material because it'd be a pretty freaking good tarp. But it seems blown away.
Yeah. There's not too much left of it right now.
Now, where was this camp based at? Like, was it more towards the mountain or towards the bay?
This was more towards the bay.
Okay.
Far
kind of in
north
that-
of,
In that
Yeah.
clearing that I'm seeing, right at the very tip.
just south
Okay.
of the mine.
That's what I thought. Now, was there any, like, ore around here that gave indication of that they were doing mining activities?
It's still a fair ways off, so not that you're aware.
Okay.
So, do you take any of the canisters?
I said I was taking them, yeah.
All right. There's 20 of them in total, and they each weigh maybe about 1 pound or so. Some of them are actually fairly light, and you can tell that they used to have inscriptions written on them with some sort of ink that have worn off in time.
If needed, Raku can carry some of them too.
If you have a bag of holding, it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
That I do.
Make sure you're keeping track of, everything that's in it. And just remember that it is limited to 500 pounds. It is very also, it's very easy to tell when you're at 500 pounds.
Wait, what about 500 pounds?
That's how much a bag of holding can hold.
Oh, okay. And Dova, get on that helmet.
Well, considering it's in my inventory, my entire inventory isn't at 500 pounds yet. I think I'm good.
Mhm.
Anyways, after that, I guess we'll continue on to the north.
All right.
Towards
Rock.
those mines.
Yep.
You approach the location, the ruins of an ancient chapel. And as you land, a cloud of very fine ash is sort of billows up from the nightmare's hooves. And as you step down, you actually sink about half an inch into the very fine ash on the ground. Already you can feel some of it getting into your nose and just irritating the living hell out of the inside.
Mm. I'm gonna walk towards the little chapel thingy.
All right. There's not much left at this point. Nothing much other than a few remnants of some stained glass. Most of the walls are in fact non-existent. Only about half of one is still standing, and that's the one with the bits of stained glass still sort of embedded into the wall.
Is
It
there
actually
any...
seems that this is only the upper half of the chapel, as it seems perhaps the lower half is buried underneath the immense amount of ash.
So this is like the very top of it.
Yes.
Does there look like there's a way down into it?
As far as you're aware, no.
I'm gonna take my axe and hit the ground.
Alright.
See if it's buried.
As you sort of toss your axe directly downward, it sinks into the ash a decent ways. And it also throws up a very very thick ash cloud. Immediately, it just goes right into your nose, and you feel a good amount of this sort of scratchy, very irritating pain throughout your nostrils and your lungs and your back of your. And it just feels completely unpleasant, and pretty much every.
Yeah. He's gonna be like he's gonna use his tail to just rub his nose as he looks around. Is there any evidence of what this chapel belonged to?
Give me an investigation check.
Oh yes. See what I spy with my fancy eye. Actually, one of his better rolls for investigation.
You would not manage to find out exactly who this chapel was dedicated. There's really not much that's surviving, aside from the bits of weathered stone and stained glass.
I'm gonna look towards the mountains that Ember did not like.
You want to walk towards those?
Yeah, he's
Alright.
gonna get her to follow him, but only to the point where she's comfortable enough going to, and then he'll continue forward after that.
All right, that is a. That is roughly a 2-day journey. Because it's a fucking ways away. Because at this point, it's about 50 miles just to the foothills. It's not a journey you're going to make on your own with basically no supplies. You made it this far because you were going so fast in a realm which basically has no friction for flying creatures.
Yep.
You still going?
Let me roll a dice real quick. He's gonna look at the mountains and then look at Sora and says, "We're gonna need supplies for this adventure." And he's gonna hop back on Ember and head back to camp.
Alright. It'll take a few hours, but you managed to make it back just in time for...
He's always on time for dinner. He can smell the food.
Mhm.
He would probably find Sully the first back to camp.
Sully might be in a new room in the mansion.
You're doing your little craft?
Yes, I am.
Hmm.
That
Go
kobold
ahead and give
stole
me a
him.
dexterity check.
Me?
Yes, at one point, Cobalt does approach you about taste testing something of theirs.
Ah. I mean, I suppose I could, he says as he hastily puts it under a sheet.
As Cobalt, you would notice that it seems that he's working on it seems that Sully is working on something as well.
Cool.
Hidden under a sheet, just like your stuff is.
Cool.
Alright.
I
As
hold the
you-
spoon with ice cream on it.
There's my dexterity check.
It's hidden fairly well. Alright, you've been offered a spoonful of ice cream. What looks to be basically a very fine porridge, what it looks like.
Hmm. Yeah, I guess he'll try it.
Alright. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw.
I will leave it as that.
Alright. Immediately spit it out, as it is probably the saltiest thing you've ever tasted in your...
What is that?
Probably all the salt I put in it.
Did you try this?
No.
Here, try it.
No, I know not to now.
No, he's gonna get a spoon and shove it in his mouth.
He's gonna taste it, but he's gonna be prepared for, he's gonna expect it now.
Alright. That's still need a Constitution saving throw. Are you going to pretend like you like...
No.
Okay.
I am a scientist. I understand where I go wrong, and I learn from this.
It is obscenely salty. But you managed to, actually do what you want with it, instead of just immediately spitting it. If you want to actually just eat it, that's okay.
He smacks his lips together and says, less salt next time.
Yes, much less.
And he's gonna go back. Although I guess that was all my attempts, so he's gonna clean up the mess he made. Of which there's probably a large one.
Oh yeah, there's
Nearby kobolds are obvious victims.
They're foaming.
They're
at the
kind of
mouth. Someone
arguing.
gets them some water.
It does seem like a lot of them have tried it, and as you're coming back, they try to deny it. You're not even asking if they've tried it, but they're already trying to, like, hide. It's like, hey, what's... actually, no. Those are the ones who have absolutely no interest in the ice cream. Because they have tasted it and decided that it is terrible.
Well, I haven't made it correctly yet.
Mm.
Oh, there's gonna be a big, poorly drawn sign that says "testing in progress" the whole time I'm making this. The scientific method at work. He's gonna ask everyone what they thought of it, and what they thought it needed, what they thought it should have had less of.
For some reason, quite a lot of the complaints have to do with the salt.
After the 15th time he's written it down on his little notepad, he's like, "Okay, anyone have any complaints besides the amount of salt?"
No complaint.
Great, I'm on the right track.
You realize nobody's had real ice creams.
Well, that's perfect because it's what tastes good in general instead of what it's supposed to taste like.
That's a good viewpoint. I'm gonna
Alright, cool.
grab another drink, if that's just okay.
What are you, sort of
Does anybody
drinker?
need to be done at a certain time tonight?
Nope.
No.
I'm actually off tomorrow, which is
Nope, I'm good.
uncommon.
Well, I have to get ready for a test on Friday that might determine my whole future. So I don't know about going too long tonight.
Alright.
Well, should we
Today's pretty
take a
slow day.
break now,
Honestly-
or...
Yeah, honestly, today is a pretty slow day when it comes to like the subjects we're working on, so we don't have to run the entire time.
Hmm.
It's one of
I
those
would like to
downtime-
actually start some new adventuring thing. Which, by the way, there's a few loose ends which I think you should probably investigate.
Well, we need leads.
It's fair.
Does anyone know where that like the suit of armor came from?
The well,
It was
Rock
the
does.
yes. It was the exact same suit of armor you saw the drow wearing.
Oh, that reminds me. Wasn't there some kind of force that was making us really like wary of a specific direction a while ago? I can't remember what it was.
I
But
believe
something
that
said we
was.
couldn't go there.
I believe that there was a slight sort of foreboding sensation towards the large volcano in the middle of it.
The one shooting the beam of light? That's
Yes,
not at all
in
suspicious?
the
No.
ethereal plane.
The one that Rock headlong went straight towards.
The one that's
Precisely.
not at all suspicious at all?
Not
I think-
suspicious.
Because I think Rock failed that check, so he wouldn't have known. Well, he knows now. He didn't know then.
Kobolds can explore the astral plane for a little bit.
Just casually.
Yeah, why not?
Alright.
I made a bunch of progress on the golem making. I made a bunch of progress on ice cream making. Relax a little bit with some some astral exploration.
Hey Dove, I cleaned up my inventory.
I did add an actual description for.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah, I remember. So, yeah, we did that. So it doesn't make me remember something?
No, it's something else.
Huh?
It's something else.
Okay. Jeez.
So as you disappear into the astral plane due to your very strange cloak, very excellent cloak.
Yes, I
So-
love this cloak.
Where the vet? What? The effects of time in the astral plane are suspended until the traveler exits, whereupon the effects retroactively occurred. Hello? Excuse me?
So that means if I stay in the astral plane for 5 years, the moment I come, I won't age while in the astral plane. But as soon as I come back, I'll age 5 years immediately.
Huh.
That's interesting.
But if you're going in for like 2 minutes and then leave, and then your body goes 2 minutes ahead, it's not really gonna
Yeah.
be any different. It's for when you spend really long amounts of time in there that you got to be
Mhm.
worried.
Alright, so the moment that you appear in the astral plane, you are now as around you is a sea of stars punctuated by gargantuan columns of mist and specks of matter in the distance. There's this strange underlying chorus of strange hum and whistles as a non-existent wind whips past your ears. You aren't falling towards anything in particular, but the weightlessness forces your stomach up into your throat.
So I'm not falling, or
You are falling. You are definitely falling.
okay? Can I will myself to stop falling?
Uh,
Is it like a mental? I'm trying to figure out if it's like a mental thing or a physical thing.
you try to stop falling, and eventually you manage to stop falling. And as you're slowing down, you feel more comfortable as you start to fall up.
All right. As he's going upwards at alarming speeds, he's like, "Okay, this is why I'm here. This is what practice is for." And he's gonna try to steady himself again.
You eventually come to grips with the fact that you seem to be able to choose the direction that you're falling, but there's no other way to really direct your motion in any.
Okay, so I'm
You're
gonna
just kind of
I'm gonna
falling
think to
perpetually.
I'm gonna think to fall forward then.
All right. Well, now you're falling downwards, which is forwards. That
Okay, we'll fall.
Which was
I'm gonna fall
forward.
in the direction that I'm facing.
yes, you are now falling. Fuck, this is confusing.
Can I control the speed at which I'm falling?
No, cannot control the speed. However, with weird sort of adjustment of which direction you're falling, you can
Mhm.
kind of adjust your course in fine detail, including your
Right.
speed.
Well, this is what
You're
this is what I'm practicing the whole time then. Moving.
Just moving around.
Yes.
All right. There's a thin silver cord kind of stretching out from the small of your back and kind of coiling off into the abyss somewhere in the distance. You never seem to reach the end of the line, as it's always has a little bit of slack just behind you.
Is that where it came from?
Possibly. Whenever you try to go towards the source, it just seems to continuously uncoil and find some other spot to originate from.
That's weird, but okay. Anyway, how much progress do I make on being able to control myself in the astral plane?
You eventually do make some pretty good progress. You manage. You'd say you're able to direct yourself fairly comfortably. Though, there. I mean, if you were asked to navigate an obstacle course, maybe not. You probably
Yeah,
wouldn't be able to.
Things like tight turns and fast, like spins, and that kind of stuff might be a bit difficult.
Precisely.
All right, and then I'm gonna come back after I practice enough.
All right. As you return back to the material plane, you are extremely hungry. All of a sudden. Like,
Okay,
nearly starved.
Wait, how long was I in there?
Feels like you were in there for about maybe an hour or two.
I shouldn't be that hungry, but okay.
You were a little peckish before you went in.
I had all that ice cream. Not the salty
It's
ones. The other
basically
ones.
just salt and milk.
No, not the salty ones. The other ones.
So basically just ice milk.
I mean, yeah.
Alright.
Cold, sweet milk.
With chunks of cold.
Well, if you get Sully involved in this, he might suggest maybe sugar
I said sweet milk.
and cream.
Mm-hmm. And
The milk is for.
wait. So everyone seems to make it back. Actually, Raku and Eric, what are you doing?
We're continuing to the mines.
All right. You would eventually make it there after quite a while. And you are greeted with a small gully, sort of leading into an actual cliff, a riverbed flanked by cliffside, and leading into perhaps a clearing of some sort. You can't really tell as it's around the bend. You can only kind of see bits and pieces. But you figure that this is where the sort of cave entrance was.
We're not actually finding the entrance.
Not at the moment, no. I'm assuming you would keep going forward through the cliff passage,
Yeah, why not?
Raku wants to make a perception check to see if there's any boulders at the top of this area that we're going through.
Go ahead.
Let me pull this up. Seems like if anything is kind of set.
Oh, you are precisely. As you kind of stop for a moment and look around, you notice the telltale sign of a quite a few large rocks placed just on the edge. Something that would definitely not occur in nature.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
There's also a handful of bushes that seem to be in the wrong place. as well as a handful of small little pockets in the cliffside, where you can't really see into, and they seem to be the perfect space for someone to be waiting.
I'm gonna stop Eric's from going any further. I'm gonna like quietly and without like actively pointing tell him where to look.
With his guidance, you're able to see the various bits of suspicious scenery that Raku has spotted.
Where are they right now?
They're off
That's-
to the north, right by that mine marker.
To the right of it, or
Where it says Shoku
Basically,
Bay,
okay,
the one
I-
that's like just north of the tip.
okay.
Eric?
I'm gonna casually just look around, making note of them, and talk to him quietly. So what do you think we should do here?
Raku's gonna like turn around the other direction and say a little bit loudly, "Oh hey, I think I saw something over here." He's gonna start walking the opposite direction and waving Eric's with him and saying, "We should get the others because this is a place of interest now."
Sounds
And
good
trying
to
to
me.
play it off. I don't know if you want me to roll deception if anyone was watching us, just trying to make it like casually seem like that I found that we were just adventurers that found something else.
If you want to make it sort of convincing, if you want to.
28.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
yeah.
So, huh?
None.
Right now, Raku is more interested in getting back to camp now,
All right.
Yeah, we'll
and
head back.
kind of making notes on his map of where the mine is. Still kind of like looking over his shoulder a bit.
You would manage to make it back to camp after a few hours of relatively uneventfully. You actually catch a glimpse of what looks to be a some sort of grung trail mark, or perhaps it's an effigy. It's a large wooden stick placed into the ground near the base of a tree with a handful of what looks to be animal bones, as well as a somewhat deformed humanoid skull. It doesn't seem to be any sort of like actual civilized human.
Kind of like a Neanderthal.
Actually, Raku, could you give me a history check? And Eric's a nature check. Something seems familiar about the skull, Rick. You're not quite sure what. And for you, Eric, something is telling you that it's some sort of maybe perhaps a feral humanoid. That's the look that you're getting from it. There's a certain shape about the forehead and jaw that it makes it look like it's not civilized.
Raku is gonna kind of like drop his focus on if something was like following them and try to focus all of his attention at this skull, kind of squinting on it and trying to look back in his memories about that vision. See if anything comes to mind.
I'd say you'd probably recognize it as perhaps belonging to one of those troglodytes that you saw.
Like they had this, or it's one of their
It
skulls?
It might have been one of their skulls.
Okay, because I wasn't
The
sure.
head structure is reminiscent.
Alright, I wasn't sure how humanoid they were.
Hmm.
Because I kind of forgot what they looked like.
I'll grab a picture. They're actually fairly reptilian, but it's still technically humanoid.
Alright.
It just in technicality at least.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll continue on back to home.
Yeah, and he'll make a note in his map about the effigy here.
Very well. You all make it back home. Erickson Raku, you would make it back after dinner time, as it is fairly light out at the moment. You would make it back at around dawn. So things are starting to warm up and get all unpleasant. Insects are starting to wake back up. Do insects sleep? That's an interesting question.
Yeah,
Depends on the
Raku's
insect.
Raku's gonna go back to his windowless workshop and go to bed.
All right.
'Cause that's how I always envision it. It just has like candles. There's no windows.
A better question for you. There are windows inside the mansion. Do you want them to accurately reflect what's going on outside, or would you like them to be dark during rest time?
I mean, Raku set up his room so there are no windows. He doesn't want
Mhm.
any. It's just a thing about him and his past, and he doesn't want anyone being able to look in, so it's contained.
All right.
It's as if it was like in the center of the house.
Mhm.
And he just goes to bed, putting on his nightcap of nice dreams.
All right. You have a very pleasant dream. You're having a picnic outside, and it is one.
Oh, I was about to ask how many people did I rob.
It's a very wholesome, good dream.
I'm having a nice picnic.
You said it was your picnic that you brought.
Yeah, it was. I was having a nice picnic of a very expensive wine and a roll of cheese that I stole. And it's me and Charlotte. And she's like kind of standing up and like animated on her own. It's really weird.
Really, really weird. On that sort of note, the food served by the servants is just kind of subpar. Not even necessarily subpar, it was just, par. It wasn't very good, it wasn't very bad, it was just sort of disappointing all around, compared to what you've been getting recently.
I'm gonna put on my or is this like evening now?
You are currently wearing your evening.
Huh?
Yeah, sorry, you said, is it evening now?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were talking like we went to bed and now we woke up.
No, this is the previous night. I was just making sure I actually got it out here because you kind of just like went to bed as soon as you got.
Yeah, Raku didn't eat.
Fair enough.
Eric's would have eaten. After tasting that, he would find Gestalt and ask
Yeah, I was
about
about to do
it.
the same thing. Ask him
Alright.
if he noticed anything weird.
Gestalt kind of says to you, no, I don't think anything has really changed. I can't really, taste the food myself, but it looks.
It's just odd. Everything seems to be... Something seems to be different.
Huh. I suppose keep an eye on it, I suppose.
Hey, Dova.
Yeah?
I'm gonna look through the tuner and see if potentially, like, the mansion is running out of magic.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. Sorry, Arcana check.
Oh, thank God. That's cooking. There we go. There we go.
All right. As you're looking through it, you happen to know that that's almost true of what's happened. It seems that the magic that's making the food that's keeping you all well fed is starting to wane slightly. You're unsure of whether this is going to be a permanent sort of decline or whether it might recharge if you use it less. But
I'm gonna...
at some point in the future, it might just degrade to giving you flavorless gruel.
I'm going to see... Like, is there a source for the magic that is specifically getting us the food?
It was a diamond that was enchanted, and
No,
then
not for the
wasn't
whole,
it?
not for the whole mansion. Just what Dova was talking about.
You're actually not sure exactly where it gets the magic for producing the food, but it's probably along the same lines as that, as the magic that's powering this whole place.
I'm also
Could
gonna
you give
look
me
around-
another Arcana check?
Yes. I also wanted to look around to see if anything else was being affected negatively. Aw.
It seems like the food is the only thing that's being affected by it. But you're still unsure as to where it actually gets the food from.
Alright, well, I guess I'll relay what I have discovered and let everyone know that we should probably start getting into a situation where we can prepare our own meals.
Hello?
Well,
Hello?
Hello?
it is something that I was planning to do eventually anyways.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
On the morrow, I will need your help, Cobalt, to go get seed and such, because I don't think we have any.
Me?
Well, yeah, we gotta teleport out of here.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant search the island of Cholt for that kind of stuff.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, you could come with me for that.
Yeah, but I don't know how much help I'd be. Come on, have you found anything? Rolls a 2 on perception.
I found dirt.
I think. Examines it
Yeah.
closely.
That's a rock cobalt.
If I hit it hard, if rock hits it hard enough, it will become dirt.
True.
He's not wrong, but,
No, you're not.
Well, we'll go to bed, and deal with it in the morning. Or, our morning, evening time.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I'll ask Gestalt to get me up a little early, so that way Cobalt and I, because we'll probably, need to head out before it's actually dark.
All right.
Closing
hey, Nova,
time of shops and all.
Before I go to bed, though, I want to get advice from some of the, I want to say smarter, but I guess I mean more experienced kobolds on, mushroom farming, because it seemed to be their main diet.
So probably like elders,
Yeah.
All right.
foragers.
Because before that was what their main diet consisted of.
You managed to learn that a good amount of the mushroom farmers or cultivators are with you now. There was, I think, roughly half of them were lost in the whole the attack by the trolls, as well as the turning of the mushrooms against. But most of them seem to be experienced with keeping mushrooms for food. They seem kind of disappointed that they'll have to go back to that, but
No, remember, maybe it was like 2 sessions ago. Raku gave one of the guys the helm to read Volo's guide, and I built a shed, and they've been gathering and stockpiling.
Well,
Mhm.
I think that's more for
The
I don't
great
know.
winter's coming.
Well, I thought it would be more for
Like alchemical supplies.
not. What am I trying to say? Like
Gathering?
learning about this stuff
Foraging.
rather than
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
about
No,
it rather
yeah.
than farming it.
No, oh yeah, foraging, not farming. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
they've been foraging.
I'm trying to learn. You should be able to farm some stuff too.
Yeah.
Once, we forage it, learn how to grow it and stuff like that, and then we can start farming it.
Well, they currently already know like where everything resides, so if you wanted to, you can like go out and study conditions, and you can probably get like seeds and spores and stuff from what we already have.
All right.
Because
Cool.
like I said, there's a whole shed now in the settlement that Raku built.
there's also a good amount of food that they brought. There's probably a handful of mushrooms from the old caves that you might just be able to cultivate here.
The problem is that mushrooms would need a darker place.
Yeah.
They
we can
don't
build those things.
exactly. Well, we are not. I mean, how close is the nearest cave? I mean,
Ayastal is in there.
well, yeah.
Just currently living in
We're
the
not gonna jack. We're not gonna
Mhm.
jack her place, but I'm pretty sure there are caves close by.
It's probably a reasonable assumption that there might be a few cave systems, uninhabited cave systems in the sort of the mountains to your immediate east. Sorry, west.
All right, so we
Additionally,
can.
One's within walking distance, of course.
Yeah,
additionally,
remember, Raku already was looking into the caves. He enjoyed them, so.
we probably also don't want to build the farms inside the settlement because we need a lot of room for that.
Well, we would put it right outside of the settlement, outside the wall.
Or we
It's-
could put
wait,
the
hold on.
caves
This is
also with-
Minecraft. Why don't we just dig the farms up?
Yeah, just dig down.
Just yeah.
This isn't Minecraft, though.
Do a bit of a diggy do.
Everything's Minecraft if you're brave enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get a. Can we just climb the mountain, get Notch's pickaxe?
I'm afraid
That's
that unfortunately we can't just have blocks of dirt suspended in midair.
Why not?
Well, yeah.
Actually,
why not?
you're
Yeah,
right.
building
This is a realm of magic, so that is within possibility, but
building houses would be so much easier if we could just, look at a place and suddenly there's a 3x3 block of the material there.
anyways, I had planned, I could have sworn I said it, but I had planned for Zell to, because I mean, he's not going to need to be managing medical stuff all the time. So I plan to have him in charge of farming and such as well.
And about by this time, he would have been. I'd say he probably would have been recovered.
I think I said that. I don't know for sure.
Hey,
Believe.
hey, Dova. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I thought you were done. You were kind of cutting out, but I heard you say something. What were you saying about Zell?
Making him the farmer, in charge of the farms.
So
We
we'll
have a
take,
lot of nameless kobolds that can work the farm,
Yeah.
well,
or named.
Yeah.
he's in charge of organizing.
In
all of
charge,
it.
yeah. Not, yeah.
Well, I would also like to remind us that the soil around within a mile of our settlement has been exceptionally good.
It's been blessed,
With
Yep.
Ash.
quite literally.
Hashtag bless.
Okay, so
It's
we all
very
sleep.
good soil.
We get up.
There's one thing I want to do before we sleep.
Okay.
Dova, I want to build
Yep.
a notice board.
That's completely doable. Is it like a bulletin board, just kind of attached to the wall of the shed,
Yes.
or is it
Or-
Or the
freestanding?
I was
wall.
just gonna put it I don't know. So I'm probably gonna put it on the wall, but it could probably just stand up on its own. Like, oh, we can have it stand up on its own next to the town hall.
Let's see. By tomorrow, you'll be able to get that up.
And we can put the other stone slab of rules there too.
Right to the side of that.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
was looking for another good place to put that.
Mhm.
You know, it'd be pretty great for farming mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Stone shape. You just build a cave.
Ooh.
We don't even really need stone shape. We could probably just MacGyver it.
Let's make some pickaxes. Like, come on.
Give Rock about a day and a half. He'll make
Make
it
some
work.
diamond pickaxes.
I know, but this is instantaneous.
All right. So,
I will prepare the stone shape for the next day.
all right. In the morning, as
Evening.
the sun is dropping again. I know. I said as the sun is dropping again.
It's still called evening.
Yeah. It's, come on.
All right,
You're kind of getting all your things ready for the day, Eric's. And as you grab the key, you feel that it's warm to the touch.
I will look at it more closely.
That son of a bitch.
Nothing seems to have changed, but it is now warm to the touch.
Now, is this different than it normally is, or
Yeah.
okay?
Normally it's
sure.
really cold.
I'm going to try putting it in the door to my room.
All right. There's a very heavy click along with the fizzling of magics as it seems to work.
I'll go through.
All right. Whose mic is making sound?
I think that was Sully.
He seems to be laughing
Yeah, I hear him laughing.
into the microphone. Right, Sully?
Yeah, like that.
I don't think he hears
Yep,
us.
there he goes.
Are you okay?
Sully?
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Alright.
Someone sent me a video on frogfish. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I have no idea.
Really?
That was funny.
Why was it convincing?
Yes, you were
That
very
was pretty
actually.
convincing.
Because the announcer or the commentator for this video, while he's saying good stuff, he's also very funny. Saying that this frogfish has evolved to hide among grumpy old men.
Anyways,
Anyway, yes.
you proceed through the doorway, sort of navigating the change in gravity with a practiced precision. However, instead of the lush greenery that was once inside, it's bitterly cold in this realm now. And the faint noises of the small town around you are completely silent, save for a bitter wind sort of coursing through the empty streets. There's a steady banging of wood against wood. Possibly one of the shutters on the houses is just swinging in the wind. It's dark in here. The ever-present light that seemed to emanate from the misty sky above is now dark, oppressively overcast at the moment, with faint bits of fog in low points in the street and kind of intermingling in the long grass where the ground is not paved.
I'm gonna... Well, Problem here is I don't know if the key will work if I go back. So, as far as I'm aware right now, while it may be really dangerous, I think this might be the only opportunity we have to figure out what's going on. So, cautiously, Kale, of course, would be with me. He always is. I will proceed, keeping an eye out, being rather on edge.
Alright.
Trying to make my ways.
Go ahead and give me a perception check first, and then an investigation check.
Ew.
That sounds like the sounds of confidence.
You are viciously on edge as you make your way through the town. The wind almost howling and whistling through a few broken windows. You're sort of too caught up in looking out for threats that only after making it a little ways into the main square of the town do you realize that you don't see any sorts of bodies at all. No bones, no anything. You do, however, see a quite grisly number of sort of smeared bloodstains on the ground, indicating that something was dragged across the grounds. All of it seems to lead into the very center of the square, which at the moment is completely empty.
So I make it to the center?
Yeah.
Is there like a big pool of blood there, or...
No. Each of the trails seems to end rather abruptly. And
Dova?
this, you realize, is the telltale sign of a portal of some sort.
Dova?
Yeah?
Don't turn this into Game of Thrones.
It's not.
You've already killed off Gort.
Well, it's a new season. We gotta start over.
Intel almost fit it.
Wait, are we season 3?
Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
season... Well, we have been. This is episode 9.
Oh.
Um,
Hey guys, welcome to season 3.
I'll make my way to, Shalou's, place, see if I can find anything there.
Alright. Heading inside, the door has been torn off its hinges from the outside. And looking inwards, you see that quite a few of the sort of mundane possessions, various blankets, sculptures, bits of art that were hung on the wall, have kind of just been ignored, while the various magical artifacts have either been taken, or even you see some places where holes have been opened into the walls leading into secret compartments where some sorts of valuables were obviously stored.
You've seen a couple of those, little vaults, I think. Or at least one.
Sorry?
We'd seen at least
What'd you
one
say?
of those little vaults.
Yes. You've seen one of them, and that was one that stored a few. I forget what it was, but yes, you would have seen one of those small vaults, but none of the, because there were a number of them kind of scattered throughout the stone walls of the tomb.
I'm going to... Can I just take a 20 to look around for, like, a journal or anything that, you know, something written that might, or otherwise, that might shed some light?
Sure. As you're making your way through, you finally make it to his sort of study, or his kind of workshop. And you notice a few spatters of blue blood that have kind of darkened with time now. And there's another one of those abrupt drag marks that suddenly end. As in the middle of the area, in the middle of his workshop, is a wooden armor stand that's been snapped and completely obliterated in many spots.
The armor we brought.
Hey guys, you remember how the that episode where you fought the drop?
Yep.
I believe I
No.
titled that one Trojan.
Yeah, that's what Rock wanted to talk to Squidface, because he recognized the armor when it came and was like, let me go talk to him about this, because that's not right, and it doesn't take a rock scientist to figure that one out. And then he broke the key, and I'm maniacally laughing, Nova. Don't think you can't hide it. I have a good perception check.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Infel's not a main character anymore, and Sully doesn't know that, or else he might have been smart. So this one's on you guys.
Hey man,
Hey,
I just work here.
I had nothing to do with that being taken there.
We made a nice chunk of change, and that change came
Oh,
back
we
to
did.
bite us in the ass.
Is there any, like, a journal or anything?
Yes. You and do find his like daily working journal, and you notice that he has not only this one, but also a few shelves on a nearby bookshelf, completely just filled with. It seems that he has lived for quite a while.
And he's lived long enough to get over his desire to just destroy everything, so, yeah? He told us he was, like, billions of years old. Okay,
I
maybe.
believe it was 1,000 or something like that.
I think it was like tens
Either
of
way.
thousands, but either way.
Mhm.
I mean, if the five of us, was it five when we fought the armor? Was everyone there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. If the five, I figured if the five of us could fight the armor and win, then it would be no problem for him.
It may have been more of a surprise attack then.
That, in fact, does seem to be what happened as you're reading through his journal. The last entry, he seems to be detailing what happened that day, saying that the two of the kobolds visited, bringing a suit of armor. It merits more investigation once I have the time. There was an incident over at at Hassan's animal, in which the red one, and it just kind of stops. There's no like foreboding scratch on the parchment. It just kind of ends. And you can actually see the pen kind of strewn to the side on the ground.
Oh, so my bayonet wasn't noteworthy. Sad. Sad Raku.
Well, you didn't write it down yet.
Oh.
I'm gonna take this journal with me. Is there anything else around? Again, just taking a 20 on that. Assuming there's no danger or catastrophic risk of failure.
In his tomb or in the city as a whole?
Starting with the tomb and then going throughout the city.
Okay.
Cautiously and thoroughly. I'd expect this to take a long time.
I'd say that there's not much of exact relevance. Actually, no. You would have found a book sort of pertaining to the material that was talked about. The title is in Dwarven. Do you know how to read?
Good question. Let me see. No.
Okay.
I know Elven.
In a subtitle. Okay. Oh no, it probably wouldn't. But it would have that. An old label has been sort of slapped on this. It looks to have been applied there by a library or maybe a bookstore. And it is titled Tongue, working with. It's a fairly old dwarven book, very, very, very sturdily made. The pages have gold trim on the sides. They're made of a very high quality. And the inscriptions, all of the lettering itself seems to be raised slightly.
For the record, while I don't speak Dwarven, Goblin language does use Dwarven script.
It does use Dwarven script, but in the same way that
like
Spanish and French
stuff,
both use the Latin alphabet.
Yeah.
Some words you can kind of guess the roots of, but other words, yeah.
Alright, well, I'll take that with me as well. And I will head back. And I will relay I'll gather everyone together. and relay the information.
All right, everyone is aware of what Eric's has found within the hidden.
And while everyone's together, I'm also going to relay the cave that we found and the obvious like trap that's set. And didn't the Grung tell us that that dark elf that we got the armor from like kidnapped them and they were somewhere on the island? Like they would kidnap some of their people like and enslave them. Or they had them like hypnotized to attack us.
Yes, that was definitely a part of it. I think it was more inferred that it was magically kind of induced, and
Yeah,
not that they had enslaved like the entire race, but that group.
No, yeah, I know. That's what I meant. Like they kidnapped them and charmed them.
Yes, that is definitely what happened.
So, I guess we can keep looking around the hidden city with all of us, because that was kind of a brave thing to go by yourself, or at least keep staying there by yourself. So we can do that, or we can go hit up that cave and see what's going on there.
I wasn't sure if I came back whether we'd be able to go back there again. That's the only reason I stayed there alone. Without knowing if we could get back there, it was possibly our only opportunity to figure out or get any information on what happened.
Hey, Dova? Hello?
Dova?
Sorry, I was gone for like half a second.
Okay. I want to look at the key through the tuner and see if it looks a bit... The magic on it looks weird.
Okay. The magic on the tuner seems to have been used, though, as you are watching, it is slowly sort of charging from the magic in the atmosphere around it.
Can I hold it and put a first level spell slot and direct a first level spell slot to it?
Sure. It charges about maybe 1/5 towards its capacity.
Okay, well, I'm gonna let everyone know that it's charging. It's not broken yet, but it is currently charging.
Sully will take interest in this.
So you guys know what this means, right? First we had a cart, and then we had a mansion. Now we have an island, but we could have our entire world.
What?
I mean, the hidden city's gone, or it's vacant. Raku's trying to joke, and it's not going over well.
Yeah, we're all just awkwardly staring at him, just like...
Haha, get it? Because...
Yeah.
Rock's laughing, but he's laughing because he's poking his arm, and his arm's twitching. Oblivious to what you said.
Because Raku is like truly envisioning having an entire world of his, but he's just like, yeah, guys. Huh?
Sully seems confused. Like, wait, what happened?
Eric?
What happened to the hidden city?
I explained everything that I found.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh dear. So what do we do then? Did we just actually fuck over Shaluth?
I had nothing to do with that.
I mean, we don't actually know what happened to him. I mean, it's just a mystery.
Rock nods.
Nobody knows.
Not saying anything, just looking straight ahead.
Yeah.
We need to find out what happened and where they were taken. Because I didn't see any bodies, so presumably they are somewhere still. And Shaluth has done a lot for us. We at least owe him that much.
I mean, he could just be at the market, you know, getting that spell scroll
His
for me.
city is the
Leading.
market. Sully will light him and say, "Oh, my Kenku! My Kenku! Shit! My Kenku! Shit."
Rock's gonna slowly raise his hand.
Which one?
His branch arm.
I think it's more of a
Is anyone-
vine. At least that's what I had in mind.
More like tendons.
Kind of like a vine-ish tendon kind of thing.
Yeah. Does anyone call on Rock?
Yes, Rock.
He's gonna sigh heavily. And he's go, I know what happened to the town.
What happened?
And he's gonna look at he's gonna look the head, but not look at Raku, and go, well, remember that drow we fought?
I think
that
they
we-
know. Didn't they know that we sold that because that's how we got your nightmare?
I didn't tell him about that.
Oh, yeah. I guess
Yeah,
they were more
so-
concerned about your arm.
Yeah. So I took the armor and went to Squidface's place and sold it. Got a nice to buy Ember, and he's gonna pet the horse. And when it came back, Dragon, he's gonna point to Sully. Sully here. I had a feeling that was the same armor. I was trying to talk to him this morning, but apparently, well, now we know why the key doesn't work. And he's just gonna turn around and just kind of start walking off.
What?
Hey, get your tail back here.
Bye, guys. He's just gonna wave.
Dova, please tell me I have some control over his arm that I could forcibly drag him back by it. Druid magic? Oh, come on.
Give me a nature check.
I mean, to be honest, it's also flesh. It's not actually anything that's
It's
nature.
half and half. Fortunately, Rock has a good amount of control over it.
Or in State Sphere, he has yet to figure out what. He's not gonna walk too far off. He's just gonna walk over to his
Hey,
forge.
Dova.
Yeah?
This is a huge waste of a spell, but I really want to do it. I'm going
Yep.
to cast Arcane Gate in front of him so that he walks through it and then just he's teleported in front of us again.
Mark down that spell slot.
I did.
He's gonna look
As you are kind of turning to go like behind your forge, you are suddenly directly back in front of Eric's again.
What did you do?
He's just gonna look him straight in the eyes and I did nothing. I got myself a fire horse.
And you
And lost an
sacrificed Shuluth for that.
Well, in all fairness,
He
he's just
didn't
gonna
do
leave
it
it.
intentionally. So he's just gonna raise a hand and say, "All right, so I'm just gonna lay down for a minute as everything I know is coming undone."
You best do that.
By the way, is Sully at the same level as us?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, and Sully, make
he
sure you
just
actually
keeps
leveling
finding
up,
new
'cause we're
things to
level-
be shell shocked about.
Well, I was more...
Eric's just
That was just a
Eric just
random
says, I
number.
believe, or sorry, oh no, you are the correct level on your character sheet. Awesome.
Yeah,
I thought you weren't. Never mind.
no, I am.
Yeah, that thought just randomly occurred to me because I think he left at like level 9.
Level 11.
Oh, so it was only one level, but okay. Um
But he is gonna look in Eric's face and go with like full seriousness. It was just a piece of armor selling. When it came back is when I realized that something was amiss, so I wanted to go investigate it myself. Seeing as that kind of went to a dead end, but it also seemed like face didn't seem too particularly concerned or in defense of the armor, so I have a feeling whatever you saw happened with the surprise attack.
most
That would
likely.
be the best way to go about it.
Yeah. We need to find out where they went. We know that drow came from somewhere here on this continent. We need to find out where. You can
Also,
fly with that
why
horse,
I'm-
can't you?
Oh, he smiles wide. He's like, also, with those drows, armor, think of each drow as 2 enemies from now on.
Yeah. Alright. So you can fly with that. I think we will have to start a scouting, a more thorough scouting run across the island.
Like I said before, we should check out that cave and see what's going on there.
That is a good start.
Yeah.
There was too much of an ambush set up for it to be something simple. They're protecting something in there.
Or the Mountains of Doom, and he's just gonna say that under his breath.
What Mountains of Doom?
So I just put something new in the group. When you roll your eyes so hard you fade from existence.
Okay, I'm putting that on stream. One sec.
Rocco will go over and pat Sully's head.
I mean, shit.
I think someone mixed up the word fainted and faded. What's it say? She was so surprised she faded? Okay, I guess I'll edit that.
Alright, so we will head out for the cave. When we get there, when we get to the actual cave entrance itself, I think Rock should split off and go scout the rest of the island. It's going to be a several day kind of thing, so he'll get a little bit done and then come back, a little bit more, come back, so on.
He'll just do it all in one trip. He'll pack a bag and everything.
No, better if you come back to us.
He can go a day out and then a day out and then day in.
We will plan to do this on the next day. Cobalt, let's go into town and get some supplies. Sully, you wanna... Sully and... I don't know.
I mean, I'd love to, but it's just so hard to not be shell-shocked by all these things happening.
At this point, we're just kind of, you know, it happens. We'll move on.
I mean, I guess. Sure, what are you gonna do?
Can we just get one of those beds from Adventure Bros that just updates solely up to everything?
I mean, he
Yes.
is updated to everything. It's just he's still getting used to it, and now, oops, Hidden City's gone, and it might be our fault.
I mean, no one said anything about being our fault.
It's Rock's fault.
I think it's the suit of armor's fault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking.
Alright,
Because Shaluth was interested in it.
I
Yeah.
cannot believe it took out Chalut somehow.
Surprises do wonders in combat.
It probably just attacked him right before
He was having his
breakfast.
tea.
Right before breakfast, because he's always super grumpy.
Alright, so, yeah, we will... Raku... And... Sully, I'm gonna take you with us.
Yeah.
With Cobalt
All
and
right.
Raku and Rock. Can Ember carry two of you?
Anyone got a shield?
Oh, at that, Rock's gonna toss you a shield and a pair of gloves.
What's this?
He's tossing you the shield of arrow catching and the shield of and the hand gauntlets of climbing and swimming.
I just asked for a shield, but thanks for the gloves, I guess.
Raku's gonna offer a +1 rapier if he wants it.
I do.
Cobalt's gonna give him an axe.
I mean, I guess this is good too. Wow,
Getting
all these presents, and I only asked for shields.
No, Cobalt, what you're supposed to say is, "and my axe."
I was waiting for someone to just give him a bow.
I don't think I have a spare.
The Volcyrus.
I use Volcyrus.
Gosh, thanks.
Rock
I
gave
guess.
his bow to
Cobalt's gonna give him a flameless torch.
I use Volcyrus for stealth. I sacrifice power for, stealth.
I see.
Cobalt's gonna give him a short bow.
I
just
have
load
one.
him up.
Here, take this sword.
Cobalt's gonna give him a vial of rotted cheese.
Well, how do you get this in the
Speaking
vial?
of which, how long would Rock have mastered his arm close enough to get that full armor bonus yet, or not yet?
Yes.
Okay, I just wasn't sure.
Cobalt's
Hey,
gonna give
Dova.
him a boot.
In
Yeah.
all honesty, Dova, do you want to give Sully the +1 scimitar from my inventory?
Oh, it's a
Oh,
scimitar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Here,
can literally
I'll take
just
that.
drag it. Open both.
Oh, can I?
Where-
No, he can. Dova can.
Oh, okay.
Where is it?
You open
The
both of the
+1
character
scimitar
sheets.
in your workshop?
Yeah, it's second from the bottom.
I'm getting so much stuff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
put a part since I have my workshop. I made a part of my inventory that I don't keep on me, but I have, so I can manage my weight.
The mail system does not rely on the hidden city. Is that correct? That's something else.
No, it does not.
I'm gonna write. Eric's is gonna write a letter to Jeremy
If he lived.
if he lived.
There you go.
He doesn't. I mean, he doesn't spend all his time in the hidden city, so there's a chance that he wasn't there. Basically, like, do you know what happened? It's deserted. There's blood. Blah blah blah, etc., etc. And asking, or telling him where we are. Also telling him about what's going on with the mansion.
Okay.
He might get it, he might not. I don't
Might get
know.
him, yeah.
But
Alright.
Find
am I
out-
also getting Rock's arrow catching shield
All right, I'll do that.
Yep.
and gloves too,
Oh
I
my
suppose.
God. This.
Well, Rock was going to give it to Sully before. He just never got a chance.
There it is.
Yay.
And not trying to be funny here with throwing all the items though, but did Sully wear armor at all?
I have hardened leather.
Okay, so you do have something right now?
Yes.
Okay. because Raku has a spare set of leather armor in his workshop.
Okay, so I hate to put a damper on everything, but I would like to spend quite a bit of time studying tonight because exam on Friday. Possibly
I
changing
figured
my
we'd-
mind.
I figured we'd be ending at 10:30, if not earlier.
I'm surprised it went on
10:30?
this long.
Cool. It's just 8:30. I can go for 2 more hours.
Yeah, I can too.
What time is it for you, Cobalt?
I said 10:30.
Oh.
I might have cut out though.
10:30.
Hey, it's 9:30 for me. But yeah, I kind of figured I'd at least make sure that we're, on the road to doing something
That we have a quest now.
because we've been lazy for the past like 3 sessions.
Yeah.
Well, some of that was just recovering.
It was
Because
essentially
first
the
it was
anime.
Sully, and then it was Infel.
Oh, it was the anime
As-
filler episodes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like the beach episodes or fillers.
The beach episodes before the body
As-
episodes.
As all
Yeah.
of you basically prepare for what to do next and prepare for a raid on a possible site infested with chasing whatever treasure lies within that cave. You all get yourself prepared, buy supplies from various cities and the various teleportation beacons that you have set, and overall get ready for the next action-packed section of your adventures here. And as a side note, something to be concerned about, the mansion has started to decline in quality of the food that it's putting out, and if not solved, it might lead to a shortage of food.
I just realized I
Indeed.
never added Digi back as playing Sully in the credits.
Why? It's been 3 episodes at least.
'Cause I never
mean,
thought to change
know
it
how-
until now.
I don't know how much you're gonna complain because you're not. Wait, have you not been in Fantasy Grounds this whole time?
No,
Yes.
I'm in Fantasy Grounds right now.
Oh, that's weird.
You've
Your
been-
Anyways,
face isn't coming up for me.
thank you everybody for joining. Have a good night, Manir. We will be back next week with more Rooms and Reptiles, Dungeons and Dragons. I will be streaming again tomorrow with more Northgard. Do come check out that strategy Viking game. Been enjoying it a lot. Tomorrow I'm planning to do a double stream tomorrow, so do check it out. Haven't decided the second game. Probably, I think I might do Darkest Dungeon. We'll see. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you all adieu.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
See you next week.
Bye.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh.